Welcome to accounting again. I hope we're recording. Anyways, we're still working on handling transactions in the accounting equation. I hope you read your section 1-3. I am assuming that you are reading and trying to understand before we do these problems. I will not read the book to you because you're educated, you can read. You learned that back in elementary school. So I have no need to do that. You can read it, get an idea of what they're talking about, and hopefully when I take you through these problems, you're grasping it. If you're struggling, I need to know. So don't be afraid to pick up the phone, call me, send me an email. I will do my best, whatever I can do to help. Okay, we're on Work Together 1-3. And now we're just taking and handling the equations as if they're a transaction, what accounts are affected, and we should go from there. I am not popping up the instruction window. Well, maybe I will real quick, just so we can glance at it. You should be on Work Together 1-3, and this is what the problem looks like. Received cash from sales. And up here it tells you to put a plus in the appropriate column if the account is increased. Put a minus in the appropriate column if the account is decreased. Sorry, I don't want to sound like da-da-da-da, but I want you to be able to understand me, but I don't want to be boring and horrible to listen to. So I hope that that's not the case. I guess if it is, you'll just have to put up with me. I'm sorry. Received cash from sales. Sales is a revenue account. It means we have money coming in. I kind of wish right here that they would have put sales, a T account for sales, or put this up higher and put sales underneath, because sales is a revenue account and it falls under the capital and it increases with a credit, so it increases your owner's equity. Now things will change later when it gets more complex. They try to take you through the step-by-step small stuff so that you have this foundation to build on. Okay, received cash from sales. So, did your cash increase? I hope so. Did your sales increase? Yes, and sales is over here under capital. So, to do the problem, we plus in cash and we plus in capital. Not hard, huh? Okay, I'll go ahead and pop it up. Sold services on account to Bowman Company. That means they didn't give us money yet. They're going to send it later on. Wow. We made a sale, and we know that sales falls under owner's equity, but they didn't send us money yet. That's where this accounts receivable Bowman's Company comes in. So, we increase what we're going to receive from them, because we could take them to court and get that money if need be, but hopefully they'll just mail it within the 10 days. And of course, sales increased. Now transaction number 3. Paid cash for telephone bill. Whoa! There's no telephone bill account up here. But telephone bill is an expense which is considered a contra account to owner's equity. Contra means it does the opposite. It doesn't increase it, it decreases it. Okay, so when we pay cash, did our cash increase? No. We wrote a check, so our amount of money decreased. And our telephone bill is in the contra account, which is an expense account. So this is kind of hard to do without, I don't know if it would record if I go up to the board and draw on it or not. Guess there's one way to find out, right? So let's see if I can do this. I don't even know if it will let me do this. Probably not, but we'll see. Okay. So we can't do that, but anyways, if you were to take this account, you would put telephone expense, and the normal balance side of every expense account is a debit. Your cash is decreasing, so it's going to be a credit. I want to minimize that. Cash is decreasing, and your capital decreases because it's a debit instead of a credit. The next transaction says received cash on account from Bowman Company. In other words, they are paying part of their bill that they charged earlier. So we received cash, it went up, and the amount that Bowman Company owes us went down. Whoops, it doesn't like that. See, plus, negative on the same side of the accounting equation. If we have two transactions on the same side, one has to be plus, one has to be a negative. If they're on opposite, plus, plus, negative, negative. Does that make sense? I hope so. Next, paid cash to owner for personal use. The owner, in other words, doesn't have enough money in their personal account. They have to remove some of their equity from the company because they have to pay their bills. And if it's a sole proprietorship, they cannot mix their personal with their business, but they can withdraw some of the owner's equity or the capital that they have in the business. And that's what they're doing right now. So we're going to pay cash to owner for personal use. So cash went down, and the amount of equity he has in the company went down. Okay, now you are to do 1-3 on your own by yourself, and then try to do the application 1-3 on your own.